Hello, this is Jody Amos with my weather forecast and analysis for the week of September 10th, 2012 through that Sunday of September 16th, 2012. Throughout this analysis, I was using persistence and climatology for my predictions, as well as analyzing the low pressure systems as they moved westerly into Alaska. With weather forecast and analysis for the week of Monday, September 10th to Sunday, September 16th, the low pressure system coming westerly from the Bering Sea affected each of the three regions specifically in this week. There were similarities for such a large distance throughout Alaska, but there was definitely slight differences depending on if it was the maritime region of Unalaska and Kodiak, and the coastal region of Anchorage and Wasilla, or finally the continental region of Fairbanks. On Monday, September 10th, 2012, Unalaska average daily temperature was 52 degrees Fahrenheit, which was slightly higher than the mean temperature that it is of September. For the coastal regions of Anchorage and Wasilla, the temperatures were close for Monday, September 10th, 2012 for their mean temperatures. Anchorage had a temperature of 44 degrees Fahrenheit on Monday, while Wasilla was a few degrees cooler with a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Fairbanks in the continental region had a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit on September 10th, 2012, which was slightly lower. As I began my observations, the low pressure system in the Bering Sea, there's obviously a cloud coverage ahead of the system that was moving northwest into the interior of Alaska. Monday's weather for September 10th, 2012 shows the cloud coverage moving in front of the low pressure system, which was causing large amounts of fog in the lower region of Alaska that affected the maritime regions of Unalaska and Kodiak. However, that fog was not yet further into the interior of Alaska, so had not reached the continental or coastal regions of Anchorage, Wasilla, or Fairbanks. I had predicted by looking at Monday's weather that this low pressure system would continue in this westerly direction. And as we look at map for tomorrow's weather for Monday, it shows for Tuesday, it shows this low pressure system still moving westerly, but slightly moving north, as it shows the pressure rising slightly from 994 millibars to 999 millibars. Just as normal, there the map show rain for the Bristol Bay region in front of the low pressure system for Tuesday. The map on Monday for the weather on Wednesday stays consistent in that the same low pressure system is still moving in a northwesterly direction. The pressure is still about the same at 999 millibars, and there is now rain behind the low pressure system that had moved across the Bering Sea and now reaching into the interior of Alaska. As I observed these three maps for Monday, I predicted the weather temperature for all three regions to stay close in temperature with the temperatures that were on Monday. The map here for Wednesday, September 12, 2012, shows the scattered cloud coverage back in the Bering Sea from the result of the low pressure system that had passed through 2 days earlier. There is a scattered cloud coverage throughout the three regions, with more clouds formed around the Fairbanks because of the low pressure system that had now reached Fairbanks with its barometric pressure now at 1,006 millibars. There were also slight showers, which is normal with this kind of system in front that had moved through. This map for the Wednesday showing for Thursday's weather, it shows this low pressure system that had followed is now dissipating, and now another front coming westerly from the Bering Sea is now moving in. This low pressure system is moving quickly here as it shows it's reaching the coastal regions of Wasilla and Anchorage on Friday. On Monday, I predicted the weather for Thursday by observing the maps and by using persistence. I was accurate with the maritime regions, with there only being a few degrees differences with the temperature from Monday to Thursday. For the coastal regions, I was less accurate with my predictions for the weather for Thursday, using the Monday maps to predict. Surprisingly, these temperatures went up higher than I expected. My predictions for Fairbanks was accurate as well, with only a difference of 1 degree Fahrenheit. As we look at Friday's weather on the map, it shows a low pressure system now over the Kenai Peninsula. This is now a new low pressure system moving with a barometric pressure of 1,002 degrees millibar. 1,000 millibars. There's a large cloud coverage throughout all three regions of Alaska, and of course rain ahead of this low pressure system as it moves into the coastal region. On this map for tomorrow's weather from Friday, it shows a low pressure system moving across the Aleutians through the Gulf of Alaska with a much lower pressure now at 990 millibars. The next day shows this system now moving north past the maritime regions and creating large amounts of rain ahead of this front. On Monday, my predictions for the maritime regions change in temperature were pretty accurate, with the temperatures being within 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And my predictions for Sunday surprisingly with even more accurate with my predictions for Thursday using persistence. However, my predictions for Anchorage were not quite as accurate. My predictions for Wasilla were a little more on point, but with Anchorage, that was the most surprising of all, because I was surprised at the differences from Monday all the way to Sunday. For Fairbanks, I realized I was not accurate with much of the weather with either using persistence or climatology. This reason is since this low pressure system, which was moving westerly, it came in contact with the Alaska Mountain Range before hitting Fairbanks, causing a chinook as it entered Fairbanks. This in turn raised the temperatures quite high in Fairbanks from Monday, September 10th to Sunday, September 16th, from 41 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Finally, as we look at today's weather for Sunday, it shows the low pressure system is still lingering around the coastal region at 969 millibars, and there is complete cloud coverage throughout Alaska. This reason for the cloud coverage was the result of two large pressure systems that had moved through Alaska, so with a mix of warm and cold fronts, and with a low pressure system creating large amount of cloud coverage. And with that came rain throughout all three regions. As I did my predictions and my forecast and analysis for this week, I learned a lot about how the pressure system moves across Alaska, and it helped me further understand where the rain comes from and to see how exactly the pressure systems do move, and to understanding more of why Fairbanks did have such a high jump in the temperature. I found this all very interesting and exciting to learn. This is my screencast for my forecast and weather analysis for September 10th through September 16th. Thank you.